Alright, what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper. So I need to show you something, guys, today. This lady is not chilling out. She's having absolutely none of anybody today. So basically, the video we're going to be watching is this lady going into a Barnes & Noble. Actually, let me go ahead and set the scene for you. So a feminist or whatever this lady is walks into a Barnes & Noble bookstore, and she really wants her Paul Sheldon novel. So she's going to ask the clerk if they have it in stock, and he's going to, kindly tell her that they don't, but he can order online. He's giving her other options, like a normal what a normal clerk would do if they didn't have it in the store. So, and she is having absolutely none of this, and it just escalates into her absolutely freaking out by the end of the video. So it's gonna get to this, but guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Want me to see if I can find it in our system?
Yeah, you better.
Right off the bat, she's like, you better have this in store. You can tell she's not messing around. She's not having a good day.
S-H-E-L-D-O-N.
So now she is telling the clerk how to spell Paul Sheldon, which I'm sure this guy does. He looks like a well-educated man. And what you're going to notice is that this clerk keeps his cool the entire time. I don't know how he did it. But you're going to see by the end of the video where it escalates into what it becomes. This guy actually keeps his cool for the whole time. He doesn't freak out. He doesn't raise his voice or anything. And he literally keeps the entire attitude of what a clerk have through this entire debacle. I'm saying this, but you guys haven't even seen anything yet. So let's go ahead and just keep watching.
I looked it up in my system, but unfortunately, I'm not coming across any of Paul Sheldon's books that we have here in the store. Would you like to see if I can order one for you, possibly?
Oh, you should have them here. He's very popular.
Well, we're probably
Paul
just sold.
Sheldon?
Most likely just sold out.
Misery. Have you ever read the Misery novels? They're very good.
I'm not familiar with Misery. I'm more of a history kind of guy.
How can you not know Misery? You work here. How can you not know?
So the clerk is checking the store system to see if it's in stock, and she comes back, or he comes back, and she's like, do you have it? And he's like, nah, we don't have it, man. I'm sorry. It's not in the store right now, but we can order for you online if you'd like to. And she's like, you don't have Paul Sheldon? This is a popular novel. She's getting a little bit worked up at this point. I guess she's trying to keep her cool, trying to vent a little bit, but it's nowhere where it's going to get to. This is probably on a scale of 1 to 10. She's at a 2 now where it's going to get. You wouldn't think that this would be the lady to kind of freak out like you're getting ready to see, but man, it threw me off guard the first time I saw it too. But she's only picking up a little bit of steam right now. This is nothing we're just gonna get to, I promise.
Paul Sheldon writes the Misery novels. They're very good. I'm looking for the latest one, Misery's Child. I really need that to complete my collection, and I really think you need to have that here.
So now this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting as the camera kind of pans around a little bit. You can see people are gathering around, kind of watching the scene to see what's going on. And apparently she needs this Paul Sheldon novel to complete her collection. You know how women be with their novel collections and stuff like that. I don't even know what Nicholas Sparks or whatever. I know a lot of girls are into that. You just can't mess with girls and their book novels, okay? So this guy says we don't have it, and she's like, you need to have it, Paul Sheldon, right? And you can't, by enforcing the name Paul Sheldon, is not going to make the store automatically have more novels. She's forcing this name, so he'll be like, oh, I guess we do have it. She's driving this name in to make sure that he has these. And the best part is, where it is right now is not even as bad as it gets. I'd say she's only a little bit flustered right now. She's only picking up a little bit of steam. She's not nearly where she's about to be. So let's just go ahead and keep watching this video.
Misery.
I don't have it in the store, but I could probably order it for you.
I'm not interested in waiting.
I've
already waited a long time for the paperback to come out. Paul Sheldon, Misery's Child. Misery in France, Misery Betrayed.
Now she is slamming her hands on the table and yelling Paul Sheldon as if that is going to change anything. I don't know what other joys in her life this woman has, just by the way she's dressed. I wouldn't say very many. I don't know if she's, Amish, or I don't know. I wouldn't say she's Amish, but apparently this novel to complete her collection is very, very important to her. And I don't know what exactly these novels are about. I've never looked up Misery. I don't know what this is. I've never even heard of this character Paul Sheldon. But whatever it is, he must be very, very important to her. That's all I can say, man. She is not messing around with these Paul Sheldon Misery in France novels. I don't know even what this is, man.
Love, you don't know any of these books? What kind of cockadoodie bookstore is this?
I had to listen to that 3 times over to make sure I heard her correctly. What is a cock-a-doodle bookstore? Now, I've heard a lot of bad words in my life. I'm 18 years old. I've heard quite a bit of cuss words. I've heard quite a bit of all kinds of words. I have a pretty extensive vocabulary, and not once, not one time in my 18 years of existence have I heard the word cock-a-doodle. This is the first time. This is a new one to put away in the collection, apparently. Alright, so this is where it's going to start picking up some steam. This is where it's going to start to get going, and she's going to get a really hot head. So this is where the brakes come off, man, and she's just full speed ahead.
Paul Sheldon, let me tell you something. I am Paul Sheldon's #1 fan. His #1 fan.
Dude, she's Paul Sheldon's #1 fan. Doesn't want us to forget that. And honestly, when I saw this, I wanted to really feel bad for her. I want to feel bad for her because she's Paul Sheldon's #1 fan, right? This is probably the only joy that she gets out of her day is reading these Paul Sheldon novels that she loves so much. But then when you keep watching the video, then you take that back. You're like, nah.
And you can't be telling me that you don't have Paul Sheldon's books here. Isn't there anybody here who knows about Paul Sheldon? Isn't anybody familiar with the Misery books? I'm telling you, how could any of you be in a bookstore when you don't know Paul Sheldon?
Yo, she is in such denial that this bookstore does not carry Paul Sheldon. So what she decides to do is turn around and look to this kind of crowd that she has gathered around her to see the scene go down. And it's funny, if you actually look at the crowd, I had to pause a couple times to see what was going on. And there was like a dude reading a book, kind of acting like he's not involved, like he's not engaged in this. There was other people who were just watching, not saying anything. A lot of people are not even stepping up, saying that they know Paul Sheldon to help her out. And she is so upset that these people aren't familiar with Paul Sheldon that they are not allowed to be in this cock-a-doodle bookstore, man. And I agree, if you are uncultured, you don't know your Paul Sheldon, then get out of this cock-a-doodle bookstore.
When you've never read Misery, what is wrong with you all? I don't understand what is happening.
No worries, man, no worries.
Looking for a cock-a-doodle book!
I can order it for you.
I don't know who on earth is this passionate about Paul Sheldon, or even books for that matter. And the funniest part with this whole clip, the funniest part of this whole video to me, is when she screams and she's just standing there, and then the dude in the back pops his head around the corner. You can see it like in the corner of the camera. He's like, "Hey man," he pops around. He's like, "I can order it online for you." Like, he kept his cool the entire time. He remained this cock-a-doodle bookstore clerk the entire time. Didn't raise his voice. It didn't even faze him that she just yelled and got the entire bookstore silent, man. Good on this guy. Like, he has got some self-control. But anyway, so I really do feel bad for this lady now I think about it. But honestly, she did bring this on herself. It's her fault that this happened. You know, she could have just ordered online. Apparently, she was tired of waiting, but she did bring this on herself. It was just too funny for me not to say something about it. So, well, I guess we'll just go ahead and watch the rest of this video then.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Oh, this looks good.
Stephen King is one of our most popular authors.
So she freezes up, and I'm like, did she have like some brain aneurysm or something? Like, what the heck is going on? She freezes up. People are trying to get her attention. She doesn't respond. And the way she tried to play it off, oh man. The way she tried to play it off, she kind of like snaps out of it. You see her like blink her eyes, and her face kind of changes color a little bit back to the normal color. She gets her senses back, and the way she tried to plays it off, she looks at a book down at the shelf. She's like, "Oh, this looks pretty good." She just grabs it. She didn't even pay for it. She grabbed it and just bounced. Like, she grabbed it and she said, "Scar!" Just got out of there. Oh man, she knew she messed up so bad. And honestly, like I said, I do feel bad for these kind of people sometimes, but she did bring this on herself by making a scene like this. So anyway, I just want to show you guys this video because I thought this was absolutely hilarious, and I didn't want you guys to miss it. So if you guys see any funny videos that you want to show me, just go ahead and at me anything on Twitter, just tag me in it. My link to my Twitter will be down below in the description if you don't follow me already. Just feel free to tag me in anything. If you think something's funny, go ahead and let me see it. So I just want to make this video really quick. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.